today we're doing our ICANN and our agenda, which is what we're doing now. And then we're going to look at a map and a PowerPoint. We're going to do Kagan and have a discussion and look at a video, compare and contrast, and then closure. Okay? So last week, we talked about history. Who can tell me, what is history? Brianna? Okay, that's a way that we can remember history, right? We can use a timeline to remember history. But what is history? Hector? Yes. Yes. History is things that have already happened in the past. All right. Who can tell me what are some important people in history that we learned about last week? J. Anthony? Who's someone that we learned about in the past? I remember you pulled out a dollar bill and showed us someone from the past. Who was that? J. Anthony, talking to them. Remember you pulled out your dollar bill and you showed us someone famous on there? Who's on the dollar bill?
George Washington.
Good job. George Washington. How about another one? Give me one more, Jerry.
He's on this though.
Okay, Barack Obama is a famous American, but he's in the present, not in the past. Okay? Yes. How about Martin Luther King Jr., Kevin? How about Martin Luther King Jr.? He was a famous American from the past, right? And Abraham Lincoln. Very good. So today we are going to be talking about Native Americans.
And George Washington, the first president.
Did you ever think about how we got to be such a big and wonderful city? Have you ever thought about that?
Yes.
What are some of the ways that we have become such a great city? Who helped us become such a great city? I want you to turn to your shoulder partners for a minute, and I want you to talk to each other about how you think our wonderful city became. Amaya, if you like, you can scoot over and talk with J. Anthony. He can be your face partner. Talk to each other. Joshua and Jerry. How do you think the city that we live in formed? I mean, how did the city happen? How do you think the city came to be? How did it happen? How did we get all the things that we have today? Did it just appear one day and we all just exist? How do you think it happened? Talk about it for a second. Okay, signal. Okay, Jerry, what did Joshua think? How did he think that it started? Thinks that Barack Obama formed Louisiana? Okay. Araya, what did Avion think? Okay, so she thinks that George Washington had a lot to do with it, okay? J. Anthony, what did Amaya say? How did she think that this city started? Did you forget? Amaya, what did J. Anthony say? Hey, remember, you have to talk to each other, okay? You have to remember what they say.
She said that the white people didn't like the black people
while that is something that you'll probably learn later on, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about how this city came to be. How was it developed? Where did we learn things from? Okay, hands down. Today we're going to learn about the Native Americans, and believe it or not, the Native Americans were also once known as American Indians, and they were here first. The Native Americans were here before anyone else was here. And we learned quite a few things from the Native Americans, some things that you will probably recognize and think, I still have that today. We still do that today. I have that at home. So some things that you might remember or recognize that we did learn from the Native Americans that you didn't know about before. Okay? So, so we're talking about Native American tribes in Louisiana. So let's say our I can for our PowerPoint together. I can identify and describe Native American tribes of Louisiana. Thank you, very good. Our first tribe that we're going to talk about today is the Tunica Biloxi tribe. Can y'all say that with me? Tunica Biloxi tribe. So the Tunica Biloxi were located in northeastern Louisiana, and they lived in thatched houses, which kind of look like grass houses. To have food, they used crops like beans, corns, and pumpkins. They also hunted deer, wild turkey, and buffalo. For transportation, which transportation means to get around, today we use cars. The Native Americans used canoes. And they were also very well known for making pottery, making baskets, and doing wood carvings. Wood carvings could be anything from bowls to carving their canoes to making totem poles. Okay? And this is just a picture of the Tunica in their canoe showing how they traveled. Okay?
That picture does look like a real picture of it.
It does look like a weird picture, but it's not an actual picture. This is a picture, it's a little rough to see, but it's just a picture of some Tunica Biloxi tribes just walking alongside of the river, okay, of the people. Alright? And then another thing that was popular about the Tunica Biloxi is their dress. If you notice, they used a lot of color, a lot of different patterns in their clothing, and they also had something on their head that they would wear. Not a hat. These are called headdresses, and this is something that they put on their head, and typically they have feathers and things sticking out of it, okay? The bigger they are lets you know what their status is in the tribal community. For example, if we all wore headdresses, who do you think would have the biggest headdress in the United States? Who's the biggest person? Hold on. Who's the biggest person in the United States of importance? Who's the most important person in the United States? Asiana?
He's our president.
She took Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. So Barack Obama would have the biggest headdress because he's the most important person in our tribe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next tribe that we're going to talk about is the Chitimacha. Can you say that with me? Chitimacha. Okay, so the Chitimacha were located in South Louisiana. Okay? They had houses. The houses were wood houses, and they were plastered with walls, and they had thatched roofs. Thatched roofs mean that they were grass roofs. Unlike the Tunica Biloxi, they had all grass. These guys have wood and grass on the roof. Okay? This is a picture of what the house might have looked like. See how it has wood here, and then it has the grass roofs. Okay?
Can
I'm sorry?
Can the houses break easily when a tornado occurs?
I'm pretty sure they can. I'm pretty sure. Okay. And for food, they also would have corn and beans, but then they would have squash and sweet potatoes. It's something that they harvested. And they also would hunt for meat, which would be deer or wild turkey. They would also hunt alligators.
Oh, what
Have you ever eaten an alligator before? Raise your hand. You've eaten alligator before? Have you?
I ate a snake too. I thought you were doing alligator meat.
We're talking about alligator. Yeah, alligator meat. Have you had alligator?
Yes,
What's it taste like?
it tastes.
Is it not good? I've never had it before.
I know it tastes like.
But a lot of people eat alligator even today, especially down in the south. Okay, and so for transportation, moving on, Jerry, for transportation, they also used canoes to get around, okay? And they were known also for pottery and for making river cane baskets. And this is an example of the baskets that they would weave. Notice again the colors and the patterns on the basket. Something that the Tunica and the Chitimacha have in common. They're using beautiful patterns to make their pottery and their baskets.
Are they building it?
Yes, they make it by themselves by hand. And this is an example of their dress. Again, they have a lot of colors and a lot of patterns.
What's on the other?
This is the headdress. This is a picture of the headdress. This is what they would wear on their head. Okay?
It looks like he's going to hunt.
This is what they would wear on their head. Notice again the pattern. They have red, white, and black. And here they have another pattern, black, yellow, red. Okay, I want you to pay close attention to the different kind of patterns that they use. I don't really know. We'll have to look that up later. Okay? Another tribe that we're going to talk about is the Choctaw. So far we've learned the Tunica, the Chitimacha, and this is the Choctaw. Can y'all say Choctaw? Now, the Choctaw tribes were located in central Louisiana. Central means in the middle, okay, in the middle of Louisiana. Their houses were wood houses with plastered walls and thatched roofs, just like the Chitimacha. So they had a lot of, their houses looked a lot alike. They would also eat corn, beans, squash, and sunflowers. They also hunted deer, wild turkey, Asiana, fish, and small game. Okay. They would also travel for transportation in canoes. So canoes, the Tunica, the Chitimacha, and the Choctaw all use canoes. Native Americans are not wild. Animals would be wild. Okay? And they are also known for their river cane baskets, woodwork, and they are known for beadwork. So look at this beautiful bag that we have up here. This isn't painted on. They would use beads to make beautiful little patterns. I know of something that y'all do every day in Miss Coolvest class that has to do with beads. What is it that I see you put beads on every day? Avion, what is it? Your AR necklaces, yeah, so you're doing beads, and I noticed that some of you are even doing patterns. So you might be a lot more like the native tribes.
I'm doing blue.
This is a picture of the Choctaws.
Oh, I see that.
Anthony, Brianna. This is a picture of what the Choctaw might look like in their outfits that they would wear. Remember? They use bright colors and again beautiful patterns. Look at his beaded patterns. White, red, white, red, white. What would come next?
Red.
Very good. Okay, here's another one of a woman in the tribe who would also wear different colors. Okay? They also use a lot of clothes with the fringe hanging down. Does anybody own some clothes like that with fringe hanging down or know someone that might own that? Good. A lot of people still use it, hands down. The next group that we're going to talk about are the Caddo Indians. Caddo. I know I've heard that word somewhere before. Caddo.
It's a place.
It's a place where?
It's like
copy off of each other. We help each other find the answers. Okay? So we don't need to yell in the middle of class. Okay? Now, the Caddo, yes, is actually a place here in Louisiana very close to us. Okay? Caddo Parish is in Shreveport. Okay? Alright. They are located in northwestern Louisiana, which is where we are. They live in beehive-shaped houses that are also thatched. Who else had thatched houses that look like that? Do we remember who else it was? Hector, because you raised your hand so beautifully. Yeah, the first one, do you remember what they were called? The Tunica. They also had houses a lot like this, okay? They would eat corn, beans, pumpkins, and sunflower. They hunted deer, buffalo, small game, and they would go fishing. Also, for transportation, they would also use, guess what? Canoes. So all of our tribes would use canoes for transportation. Okay? And they were very well known for their pottery. Okay? I do not know. Water. Okay, and they were also have beautiful clothing with bright colors. And look at their headdresses. Their headdresses look a little bit different than the other three that we've seen. They are using different patterns, yes. Yeah, theirs goes straight up, and it looks like they use less feathers, right? Okay, Brianna, focus. So they have less feathers. Okay? So now, this is just a map to give you an idea about where the Indians are that we talked about and show you a few more tribes. So we actually had tribes all over Louisiana. The Caddo that we talked about, where's Shreveport Bossier? Let me see. Who's doing what I asked? Amaya, you've been very good today. Why don't you come up here and point to me where around about Shreveport Bossier is? Where's Shreveport Bossier at? Good girl. Shreveport Bossier is up here. So, if we were the first Americans here, what tribe would we belong to? Asiana? What tribe would we belong to? Nope. What does it say right here? Caddo. So we would actually be Caddo Indians. All of us. Okay, so we talked about the Caddo, and right here beside the Caddo is the Tunica. That explains a lot. That might be why they have so much in common. How their houses look alike, and they use canoes to travel. That explains a lot. Also, we talked about the Chitimacha and the Choctaw. The Chitimacha and the Choctaw are down here around Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Well, that explains a lot too, because their houses looked alike, their headdress and things looked alike. They weren't the same, but they had a lot in common. And some of the other tribes in Louisiana included the Attakapas, the Natchez, and the Houma. So those are some other tribes that we have here. Alright. Well, let's talk about what we discussed today. First of all, what are the names of the tribes that we talked about, that we discussed today? Give me one, Brianna. Just one. You need help from a friend? Hey, Jerry, can you help Brianna? Caddo, very good. Hector? Chitimacha, very good. Avion? No, we didn't mention them, but it's not one of the ones that we talked about. So we said Chitimacha, and we said Caddo. Would you like help from a friend? Araya, can you help her out? yet? Tell me what it starts with. A D? No. Asiana, why don't you help her out? Okay, we talked about Caddo, Chittimacha, Tunica, right? The Tunica Biloxi, and nope, and the Choctaw. All right. Where did all these tribes call home? Where were they all from? Hector? They are from the United States, but now remember, when the tribes were here, that was before, Brianna, guys, just find a seat in the back. That was before we called this country the United States. So before it didn't even have a home. Like, we didn't have a name for it. So we're thinking more of the map that I had up here. Where did all the these tribes that we talked about today live? What was the picture of the map of, Avion? What was the picture of the state? What state were we talking about? Louisiana. So all of these tribes called Louisiana home. Why do you think these tribes looked a lot alike? I wonder why they look so much alike. You yell out to me, I don't see you. J. Anthony, why do the tribes look a lot alike? Maybe because they're from the same state. Very good. I want you to take a minute and I want you to turn to your shoulder partners and I want you to talk about what you think happened to the tribes and I want you to talk about how these tribes help you better understand Louisiana. Okay? What do you have in common with the tribes? Talk with your partners for just a second. Talk with your partners about what you think happened to the tribes and about what you might have in common with the tribes.
Joshua just said a map.
Okay? Let's talk about something else. Okay, signal. Do we still have corn today?
Yes.
We still eat corn, right?
Yes.
That's something that the Indians harvested. Do we still eat beans?
Yes.
That's something that the Indians harvested. Do we still eat turkey?
Yes.
That's something that the Indians harvested. Listen. We still use pumpkins. So these are a lot of things that the Native Americans contributed to us and we still use today. So we have a lot in common with them. Okay, tomorrow we're going to review a little bit of the Native Americans and then we're going to make a headdress of our own. Okay?
Like that one.
So I need group 3 to line up.
I used to be
Okay.